Good morning, class. Welcome to week 2. This week we will discuss logistics and its role in the supply chain. There are different activities that make up logistics where you can find those on page 58 through 61. The need for organizations to be more responsive to customer demands, the aspects of competition, coupled with the rising turbulence levels, has become a major concern. Therefore, it is incumbent upon supply chain managers to embrace uncertainty, though they still have to create a strategy which allows them to meet supply and demand at a cost that is acceptable. In order to improve customer service with the supply chain operation, focus must be placed on different areas which include global supply chain, network design, and operational planning. When it comes to global supply chain, it is noted that meeting the needs of the customer and the globe is important. Despite this, there are gaps that divide suppliers and customers. Customers need exceptional service and quality products matched with their needs. Suppliers have to provide customers essentials and determine something additional which can assist in cost cutting or boost revenues. Unfortunately, most organizations do not meet the needs of the average customer, and this is achieved by setting their logistics frameworks. In order to compete, these organizations will have to overhaul their logistics processes and make them flexible. There is a clear mandate for suppliers: accurate product design, perfect product performance, consistent service to provide the right product to the right customer at the right time and at the right price. Today, management recognizes customer satisfaction as the main priority and demonstrates that enhancing management relationship could lead to success. For example, when Amazon is always sending out surveys to customers about product, about shipping needs, and just about anything they can, how can they improve their services to be able to better fit their customers' needs. With regard to network design, it must be noted that part of the process of planning and supply chain management is to seek to establish the best supply chain strategy so that all operations could be carried out in an efficient manner. This includes integrating location of the facility with other major roles of the supply chain like procurement and distribution. 3 levels of planning are differentiated based on the strategic, tactical, and even operational. Strategic level handles decisions which have the long-term impact on the organization. These entail decisions concerning the number, the potentials, and the location of manufacturing plants or the material flow via logistics network. The statement presents a clear connection between strategic supply chain management and location models. Network design is always used in the place of strategic planning, though no location resolutions are made on an operational or tactical level. Numerous issues are connected to them, like warehouse layout and inventory control policies. In the current market that is characterized by stiff competition, the distribution network of an organization has to meet the service objectives at the lowest cost. For other situations, an organization could be in a position to save millions in logistics costs while enhancing service levels by overhauling the network of distribution. In order to attain this, an ideal network has to have the right number, appropriate size, and a site of warehouses to promote and replenish the practices of retailers. This demands complex facility location modes to establish the best supply chain network. Furthermore, it characterizes the connection between strategic, tactical, and operational planning. The last aspect that must be taken into consideration is operational planning. In this regard, it is known that the final goal of the logistics system is always to meet the needs of the customer. This means providing easy access to a product or service. Traditionally, for a setting where clients order products or service as deemed fit, there is a trade-off between the cost of service and the level of service. Therefore, it will cost more to offer a better service to the customer. If, for instance, a supplier should be in a position to provide high access to spare parts in order to achieve a competitive edge, there are additional costs attributed to extra inventory needed to safeguard against unexpected peaks in demand. Product suppliers are providing supplementary service connected to the tangible products that they supply. Meanwhile, they are shifting away from transactional business logic while providing the more beneficial integrated service to their customers. Service integration in this regard implies the services that are found as cooperative deals between a customer on one hand and a supplier on the other. This is where the customer transfers outlined operational roles to the supplier. The customer will now pay attention to core competencies and use the supplier's knowledge in a certain field. From the perspective of the customer, this is a new view to outsourcing that is no longer just purchasing single functions and components from external suppliers. Rather, it is about overhauling whole processes in completely different ways. This change affects logistics where process integration always demands new methods to share roles and obligation among supply chain partners. For example, a company I used to work for, C.H. Robinson, we were a 3PL brokerage company. Well, our main goal was to give a rate for some particular lane before we can pick it up from point A to take it to point B. But as time evolved and as technology increased, we try to find other ways to go into the customer. So how can we leverage their supply chain costs as far as on the transportation side? So we would maybe just take over the whole transportation process, take care of the bids, take care of the selection of carriers, and also take care of all the payables and the billables to those carriers. So therefore, the customer didn't have to do anything but just cut one check. And therefore, it also, what that did for them, it kind of helped reduce their inside transportation department from probably 20 or 30 people at the most to maybe about a handful, 5 to 10. So therefore, it did save costs of the company for salaries and also being able to take out from their day-to-days where they can strategically plan of how to make more products or put in more locations while we took care of the transportation part. All right, that ends week 2, and we're going to start talking about week 3 next week. And you all have a great day, and make sure you again read over your resources, read your chapters, and if you've got any questions, please feel free to email me. Thank you. Bye-bye.